Well, hello, it's Corey Sievers here from the Savvy team, and welcome to this special episode of the Healthy, Wealthy, Wise show, where we're going to be talking about how to make this year your best year yet. Look, if you're new here to the Healthy, Wealthy, Wise show, we're all about really teaching you hints and tips to help you maximize your health and lifestyle, and we'll be talking about all sorts of personal growth and self-development tips over the course of this particular special episode. So great to have you with us. Of course, if if any of this information is relevant to people that you know and care about, and you want to help them also join you in having a pretty terrific year this year, then please do share this information. I think you'll find it very valuable, and I think your friends will thank you for sharing it as well. So joining me on the show this time, we have our lead wellness guide and community manager here in the Savvy team, Linda. So Linda, we're going to be talking here about making this a particularly powerful year. Anything that you'd like to say as we get underway here?
Yes, Corey, thank you. It's great to be able to say hi to everyone, and I'm looking forward to hearing as we see the comments come through. I'm looking forward to seeing what everyone's intending for 2020, but I'm looking forward to a great show. So yes, I'm just having a bit of lag time here, but that's all good.
Okay, so just remember, Linda, by the way, you won't see, we will have lag time, but you've got instant stuff there, so don't worry about that. All right, so congratulations for joining us for the show, guys. We've got a lot of information. If you have been a member of the organization here in the Savvy team, and you happen to have been given one of these particular books, which is an old book written in the 90s called Catch Your Own Star, but we have lots of copies of it. Brilliant little personal growth book. So we'll be loosely following some of the content in that book. If you would like a free copy of the book, then we just ask that you cover postage and handling. Or if you're in the local area, of course, catch up and maybe we can just give you a copy. So lots to talk about here. We're really excited to really help you make this year your best year yet. So have you thought about the sorts of things that you would like for the year? What is it that you would like? Think about it. Really spend the time. A new year is like a little bit of a fresh start, and it gives you the chance to really, to really refresh and look at things with fresh eyes. And don't start this new chapter. You can't begin the next chapter of your life if you keep rereading the last one. So don't drag the past into the future. Let's have a fresh start this year, and let's make this year your best year yet. So this particular event, although here in the Savvy team, we're all about helping you reach a higher level of, wellness and health and lifestyle, this is more probably personal growth oriented. But still, getting a mindset right is so important if you're then going to improve and refresh your health as well. So I'll cover a little bit as we go through, because it's all part of our very holistic wellness philosophy. So look, congratulations for being here. If you happen to be catching the replay, congratulations as well. We'd just like you to be able to communicate any thoughts, any insights, any goals and resolutions that you'd like to share with the community. Please share them here. We have a number of support groups running right now for people who've set New Year's resolutions in the area of health and well-being and detox and dietary change. And so, definitely reach out to us. We can certainly help you there. So, look, again, if you're new to what we do here in the Savvy team, let me just take you through a little bit of information about what we do, and then we'll get underway with this particular topic. So we help you enjoy improved health and lifestyle. And so when you connect in with the community, you'll have access to step-by-step action plans, innovative solutions, and all the guidance and support that you need to get the job done, to reach that high level of wellness, and to continue on the journey. See, there isn't a period where you'll just reach, complete in terms of your wellness journey. Just like any journey in life, it is a continuing journey. And so that's the great thing. Our action plans and systems allow you to keep improving your health and lifestyle. So here in the Savvy team, we're here to inspire you by highlighting your own power to transform and inviting you to be part of the change and part of the supportive community. We're here to motivate you by sharing examples of how other members of the community are already progressing towards their goals and really encourage you to be part of the journey. We're here to guide you by providing specific action plans, programs, guidance, and mentorship, as well as access to specific wellness solutions that can assist you in achieving your family's health and lifestyle goals. And here's just a glimpse of some of our programs, everything from a high performance entrepreneur program, for mental wellness, right through to, kids' health and well-being, everything from anti-aging to weight loss, everything from improving your eyesight to improving your gut health. We have a program that can help you to reach that higher level of health and wellness. And so if there's anything that's niggling, if there's something that you've been unable to achieve, some resolution that you've been unable to conquer, we can guide you there. So it's interesting that when we start the year, as I said before, the start of the year is like a bit of a fresh start. It's a chance to let go of the old stuff and not drag it into the future. And yet, New Year's resolutions, the figures around New Year's resolutions are pretty bleak. I'll tell you about those in just a moment. And it's very easy to have all the right goals and motivation at the very beginning of the year, but it's harder to maintain that momentum unless you have support around you. And that's what our community is all about. And so that's why I'd really like to invite you to become part of the community and really say, let's together make this year your best year yet. Let's get it done. Let's help you to progress towards your goals. So, here we're all about, as I said, helping you reach a high level of health and lifestyle and really teaching you to be savvy. And part of that is really understanding that well-being and wellness is holistic, okay? And so there's so much more involved in well-being than simply diet and, the way you eat. It's everything from the environmental pollution that you might be exposed to, then to your emotional bodies and the side of your emotional side. It's everything from the social interactions that you have with people to your intellectual, your mindset and everything. It's everything from being organized to, having a little bit of the spiritual side of you also, goals in the spiritual area of your life. And then even having a central purpose in life. So holistic well-being is so much more than you typically hear us speaking about, because it's an interesting thing here. Although we, for decades, have been involved in the whole holistic well-being, really dealing with mental, attitudinal, emotional sides of things, and helping people with emotional release, etc. And progressing towards their goals and the breakthrough that can sort of force upon you sometimes. Most of our training is around wellness, typical wellness. And yet our understanding and knowledge in this area goes well beyond most of the people that you'll see out there. Well, I shouldn't say most, but many of the people out there. And so we can really help you achieve breakthrough. But, it's interesting that what my particular teacher and both of our teacher in the early 90s taught us is that the physical is a springboard to healing the other levels of the body. So just like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, if you don't take care of the basics, you can't heal the rest. So trying to tackle improving your emotional stress levels and everything without making sure that you're nutritionally taken care of and you're healthy, it's a little bit of a losing battle. Trying to be really community minded and spiritually attuned and all of that sort of thing is very difficult if you haven't taken care of your own needs. And that's why even in the airlines they say fit your own oxygen mask first. So we're here to encourage you to fit your own oxygen mask this year. Make it your best year yet. And then through your changes, you will impress that upon members of your community. And the ripple effect by you making changes can be amazing in the people around you. So first, change thyself. Anyway, so look, in terms of the holistic approach, I just want to share a little bit more about that side of things. With the holistic approach that we have from a well-being point of view and our wellness, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3 philosophy, for example, it is where, when we look at our illness wellness continuum here, you know, the treatment paradigm that most people follow out there in the world asserts that if you have signs and symptoms showing up, you seek treatment for them. And if you don't, you might end up in disability and premature death. But the goal of medication, surgeries, all these sorts of things in the typical treatment paradigm, even some natural treatment paradigms, are just about getting you to the not sick point, as I like to put it, the neutral point. Whereas a true wellness paradigm is about continued growth towards a high level of wellness, so that you go beyond the signs and symptoms. Yes, you eliminate those, maybe in a complementary approach alongside working with the doctor. And then through awareness, education, and growth, you go to an entirely new level. So in essence, it's, instead of being, the treatment paradigm is reactive in nature. You wait until you're sick. You wait until something is wrong in your life before you do something about it. Whereas the wellness paradigm is proactive in nature. Okay? You do something each and every day to optimize your well-being. And so, right now, I'm encouraging you to be proactive, to reach for that higher level of well-being, and join us, and we can help you in that journey. So we do actually have a free online class related to our Wellness Easy as 1, 2, 3 philosophy. And also we've committed this year to do community talks out there related to this philosophy. So if you'd like to invite one of our wellness guides to come and speak with your community, then please do let us know. So, what's fortunate too is this wellness approach is somewhat on trend now. More and more people are realizing the importance of looking after themselves and being proactive rather than simply reactive. Now, related to New Year's resolutions, it's, if you haven't seen the special episode we did on Newton's laws of New Year's resolutions, where we covered, how we can be thrown off track, then I'd encourage you to go and have a look at that particular episode. So, there are all sorts of New Year's resolutions. I'm going to be about to talk about some of those. And so I might see whether I can bring Linda on at the moment. It looked like there was some glitches there with the system. But Linda, you've been involved at the moment setting up some support groups and things around things such as detox and fat loss and, and really transformation, personal growth and transformation. Anything that you'd like to share with the community here and the guests listening in before we get underway?
Hi, Corey. Thanks for that. And hopefully everything's fine. My apologies. Yes. Yeah, it was great to be able to get some people together. I personally have a weight loss goal for January, and it was great to be able to get other people together and really get some buddies. And I think it's the best way. A support group is the best way to help you reach your goals. When you look at the statistics, I don't know, you're going to share some of the statistics of goals later?
Yeah.
Okay, so I won't share them, but it's great to have something to be able to share with people and share something specific that you're wanting to achieve, so that you have a measurable process, a measurable way of what you're going to do and what you're going to achieve. And so that's what we're really doing. And I think it's good. We've set up groups for business, like have 12 months planning. Setting up the plans for 12 months. We have groups for personal development, where we set up weekly or monthly goals or quarterly goals, and also weight loss, health goals. Sometimes health goals, I talked about a month, people want a month's results, but sometimes it's a 3-month program. And so most of our programs are geared around 3 months strategy of helping people achieve an improvement in their well-being. And certainly weight loss is a great thing for us all to be looking at the moment.
Indeed. So, great that you could be with us here on the show, not just in letting your fingers do the talking. So, Linda, as I said, is our lead wellness guide and community manager. So if you've been in the Healthy, Wealthy, Wise group, for example, you've no doubt communicated with Linda or some of our other support groups as well. So So great to have you on board here, Linda. So we're just going to jump on into again talking about your New Year's resolutions, and I'd like to ask you, listening in here, what are your New Year's resolutions? What are your New Year's resolutions? So, what have you been wishing and hoping for this year? Here are the top 10 New Year's resolutions according to a survey of a couple of thousand people. So, it's interesting when we look at the things, they're often common things that come up. So, diet and eating healthier. 71% of survey participants said that they'd like to improve their diet, they'd like to learn about how to eat healthier. Number two, 65% of survey participants said that they'd like to exercise more, that they feel that a good New Year's resolution would be to get some more movement, some more exercise. 54% of participants in the survey said that they would like to lose weight. Now, that pretty much matches the statistics in Australia. So, I think it's 1 in 2 women, for example, are overweight or obese. So, clearly the dietary guidelines, the understanding of what actually are the underlying drivers that put weight on people is not being understood. The statistics I can't remember for men about overweight and obese, but it's a little bit less than, I think it was like 1 in 7 were overweight or obese. But the surprising and shocking thing is that children, many children, are overweight and obese. And the problem is that if they go through their teen years with that, then their whole hormonal system has been changed. And that doesn't fare well for their future well-being. So losing weight is so important. And that's why at the beginning of each year, we certainly have a lot of support around that, and our programs, a lot of people are asking us about that. And so we've had a lot of people messaging us looking for support in that. And when we have various weight loss programs to help you. So it's, unlike everything out there, it's not a one, box where we're trying to squash you as a square peg into a round hole. That's what most people do. So it's very adaptable and adjustable, and our programs are nutrition and wellness focused. So we're not just looking to treat the weight gain, like get rid of the weight at any cost. We're looking to have you, improve your health in so many ways in the process. Many people actually get sicker because of the methods that they use for losing weight, whereas we want to help you get healthier. Fair enough? All right. That was lose weight. Bit of a sidetrack there, but number 4, another New Year's resolution is to save more, spend less, and make more money. 32% of survey participants said that they'd like to save more, spend less, or make more money. They'd like to have a better financial situation by the end of the year. And we want to talk to you about that as well, because we have systems in place where if you decided to join us as a wellness guide, we can help you capitalize on some of the current trends and make some extra money from home. So that could really significantly change your family's lifestyle. And we're on a big mission this year in 2020 to we have a big goal by the end of the year to hit. So we'd love to speak with you if you would like to change your family's lifestyle. So number 5 was to learn a new skill or a hobby. 26% of people would like to do that. 21% wanted to quit smoking. 17% wanted to read and learn more. So 8, and this is what's interesting, read and learn more, and yet, so many people sort of say they don't have time, or, I don't have time to watch that, or I don't have time to listen to that and everything. And that's letting the old stuff stop you from growth. And so in New Year's resolutions, 17% said that they'd like to read and learn more. So that's a great thing. Maybe you're one of those people. If you're probably here, if you're on the show, you are somebody who's willing to learn and grow. So congratulations on that. 16% said they'd like to find a better job or another job. 15% said they'd like to drink less alcohol. And 13% said they'd like to spend more time with family and friends. So what's your New Year's resolution? What is it that you're looking to achieve? Have you thought about it? Have you written it down? Because it's a pretty good bet that if you haven't clarified what you'd like to achieve this year, then just like a boat without a rudder, you'll just be, not able to go directly towards your goals. So here are some interesting facts about New Year's resolutions. Saving and making money, as I mentioned before, is one of the top 5 New Year's resolutions and also in the top 5 most commonly failed. So if you'd like to save or make more money, you're not alone because it's amongst the top 5 and yet it's the most commonly failed upon. So over half of respondents said that they fail their resolutions before the end of January. Before the end of January. It's the 11th at time of recording here. So, let's help you get this job done. So women make health-focused resolutions while men tend to pledge to find a new job, make more money, and lay off the booze, lay off the alcohol. So what's your New Year's resolution? Linda, so I notice you're there. Is there anything that you'd like to share there?
I've been moving things around here. So yes, Corey, I guess I've been interested to look at some of those stats when you look at the statistics and the sad facts when people are setting goals, and we're all really keen to set goals at the beginning of the year. Yet the statistics of how long that actually lasts, that talked about one research study I was looking at said 80% of New Year's resolutions are forgotten by February the 15th. You're talking about January, about losing your momentum on them. And then people are just absolutely off track and just totally forgotten by the middle of February. And really that means that this year is not going to be any different to last year unless something changes. If nothing changes, nothing
changes. If you change nothing, nothing changes.
That's right. And so being able to have a support group and connect with people who are going somewhere, or just a support group is a mutual support group. I think a lot of the times we run groups and people think it's up to us to keep them motivated. But really, I like the idea. I'm about collaboration. And I like the idea of everybody working together in support groups to help each other, really. That's what it's about, isn't it?
Yes. We know that you like everyone to be a big, happy family, Linda, so that's good. So, all right. So, anything else you'd like to share before we continue on and really get started with this?
Not at the moment that I can think of, but thank you for asking.
Terrific. So you're in the diet ones. All right. So you've decided that one of your resolutions is to lose weight. Is that correct?
Lose weight.
And detox.
Lose weight. I have a pretty good diet, but it really is about exercise for me and just tweaking some of the things. So I eat healthy, but still, yes.
And you're right now on a little bit of a fast, or a little bit of a bone broth fast, I believe, as part of your detox protocol. Is that correct?
I am indeed, and it's quite fun. I'm stunned how easy it is, actually.
Yeah, and so that's very good as part of our gut healing programs and detox programs. So Linda's leading the way there with many people in the detox. So exercise as well. So that's great. So let's continue on here with some of the things. So look, if you've been thinking about your New Year's resolutions, what are they? Do they fall into the category of health and vitality improvement or money and lifestyle improvement? If you have a look at some of those things that we just covered, they really fall into those 2 categories. So what would make the biggest difference in your life right now? Having more health and vitality or having more money and lifestyle? Identify that, think about it, and hey, let us know so that we can help you get it done. So the next step I would suggest is to request an invitation into our community, and then we can start the process, help you to fill out a how can we help survey and get to know you and what you're looking for so that we can help you come up with a plan. So let's talk about how to make this year your best year yet. Okay, so have you ever said if only, or I wish I could, or I wish this year was different, or I wish it was better? Well, now's the time to make those changes. And so it's time to stop wishing and realize that you actually have the power and potential to do or have anything you want. Okay, so anything you want. So if you're ready to go, we'd love you to communicate along the way. Let your fingers do the talking, so to speak, because we're going to be going through some different information that really helps you to set the mindset up, especially, and some of your actions to get to make this year a powerful year. So again, we're going to be loosely following some of the content in this little book that is quite an old book. You could say it's outdated, but personal growth philosophies never, methodologies change, but those philosophies stay the same. So I'll mix it up with some of my own beliefs and thoughts. But again, if you really wanted a copy of this to help you make this your best year yet, then reach out. We'll just ask you to cover postage. All right. So, goals are the first thing that I wanted to talk with you about. Goals. You really do need to decide where you're headed. And it's important to realize, just like this image shows, if you're listening to the podcast version of the show, then we're just looking at a road going off into the distance, and sometimes we don't know what's around the corner. But we go forward with the faith and the confidence that the road will lead us, that we have decided where we're going, where the destination is, and we're simply on the road to that destination. So, look out for future workshops that we're planning called The List. In this List workshop, it's all about helping you to not only deal with your goals, your desires, your responsibilities, and all of those sorts of things, but really to deal with some of the uncompleted acts. And we'll get to that later on in the show. But what is it that you want? It's a pretty good bet that if you don't decide on what you want, then you're not going to get there. So, look, if you happen to be joining us live, that was regarding the List workshop that we'll be doing, where we really help you to sort through and create order in your life, order out of the desires, order out of your responsibilities, uncompleted acts, and organizational side of your life. And many people just feel tremendous freedom and breakthrough when they go through that process. So we're looking to see, we've only ever done that in an offline seminar, workshop situation or fun shop. And so we're going to be looking to see whether we can do that in this virtual situation. So, question for you is, why don't people set goals? Why don't people set goals? What is it? What is the reason that they don't feel necessary to set goals? We all, by the way, set goals. We all mentally go, I'd like to lose weight. I'd like to make more money. Even if we don't write them down, we've mentally set the goal. So why don't people consciously make a decision on goals? Well, here are some of the reasons that the experts believe. Number one, that they don't realize the importance, and you may be like this, you don't realize the importance of setting goals. And that's a shame. So the way our mind works is that if we set a goal, we're more likely to work towards achieving it. Many people have written down goals, put them away in a book, so they've really articulated them, got clear, not even focused on them, pulled out that book a year later, and they've achieved everything on that list. But they went through the exercise of clarifying their vision, and that was all that was really necessary for them to come in alignment with their goals and get on the right direction. Of course, action was needed, etc., but it's so important to set the goal. Number two, they haven't accepted responsibility for their lives. That's unlikely to be you here listening into this show or watching here with us live. Number three, they don't know how to set goals. Many people think goal setting is a complicated skill. Well, we have a SMART goals questionnaire or a worksheet that can help you to make sure that you have the goals set in the correct way. And so just reach out to us and ask for the SMART goals worksheet. And so we can just let us know in the comments. We can make sure we link that up or send it back to you. So, it is an important skill to have, but it's not difficult, okay? So another reason is they don't know why to actually set them. They don't know why to set them because they actually don't know how to achieve them. Most people have never set goals because you sort of think about, well, how am I going to do this? It's great to set a goal, but you don't know how I'm going to do it. And so this is the thing. When we look at that image of the road, you don't know what's around the next corner, but it doesn't stop you from setting the goal of getting to the destination. So set the goal, and it's amazing how, as they say, the universe will handle the details. So number 5 is fear of failure. Fear of failure is the biggest obstacle to success. And many people focus on the setbacks rather than moving forward with their actual goal. So we're conditioned in our upbringing to focus on the negative, focus on the problems, focus on what might go wrong. And our school system also focuses on us to fear making mistakes. Financial authors such as Robert Kiyosaki really say that this is one of the problems with the school system that is totally opposing success in life and business, that we get trained to fear failure, where failure is where we learn and grow. Mistakes are where we learn and grow. It's falling off the bike that helps us really to get back on and then, eventually get our balance when we're young. We fall over when we're learning to walk, yet we don't give up. Another one is a surprising one, that is fear of success. And this fear is rooted in the belief that primarily, I guess, material success is bad. Filthy rich, people say. And there's a high cost attached to success. People are afraid of success of all types, and because of what other people might think of them, or rising above the norm. And in Australia, this is particularly strong because we have what is called the tall poppy syndrome, where it does appear as though many people will try to pull others down if they move ahead. So don't let that bother you. Go for your goals. Decide on what you want, and don't let others stop you from achieving your goals. Sometimes when you're setting goals, by the way, it's easier to focus on to start. People say, I don't know what I want. It's easier sometimes to look at what you don't want and then follow our about face process, where you go, all right, I don't want this year to be a crappy year where I don't have any money and I'm sick all the time. So great, that's what I don't want. Do a 180 and say, what is it that I do want? Well, I want to feel healthy, I want to feel well, and I want to grow my income. Boom, that's a goal. By the end of this year, I would like to do this, and then decide some specific action plans and goals around that. So it actually isn't difficult to set goals, but we're here to help you do it anyway. You really can have anything you want. You just need to make the decision to achieve it. So Robert Kiyosaki said it's more important to grow your income than to cut your expenses. It's more important to grow your spirit than to cut back on your dreams. And I find that interesting in light of so many people do have the focus to save money as a New Year's resolution. And that's great. That is important. But, many people also cut back on the spirit, become, closed down because they just let go of dreams rather than looking for how can I? All right. So an action plan is so important. Developing an action plan. If you are failing this year, if you've set some New Year's resolutions, sometimes the reason that they don't come to fruition is because of failing to plan. Failing to plan is planning to fail. Now, David Allen, author of How to Get Things Done, or the GTD philosophy, Getting Things Done, talks about the fact that oftentimes there are many projects, there are many goals that we set, and many of the things even on our everyday to-do list are actually goals or projects. They're not something that you can do. Like, let's just talk about weight loss or making more money. You can't do weight loss. You can't make more money. So that's a resolution. But the reason that people fail is because they don't take that project and then, whether it be a mind map like depicted on this image, or whether it be some other planning software or task management, start to decide on what are the things that I need to do to actually get that job done. So if we take it away from, if we just look at weight loss, for example, you might go, I'd like to lose 20 kilos. Right now you might say, reach out to the Savvy team, get onto a program. That might be a task, okay? Book into a gym, or it might be clean out the garage so I can work out in the garage. It might be clean out the cupboard of all the rubbish food. They're all tasks. It might be speak with the family about the fact that I'm going to make changes and ask for support. So there are multiple tasks, and the reason people fail is that they don't break that goal down into specific actionable tasks. And that's what David Allen talks about so strongly in his GTD philosophy, that so many people, even high-performance executives, are overwhelmed because they're simply not breaking down their actual tasks into manageable things that can be done in a certain place. Okay, so if it's Saturday night and you're thinking I really should join a gym, you can't do that at that time. So you have to have a place where you write that task down so that you'll remember it when you're in a position, for example, out and about, where you can go and speak to the gym or book into the gym, for example. So, this is what we need to do. We really do need to just break it down. So simple. And so a good book would be How to Get Things Done. It's a little bit complicated in places, but it's a great system. I use both Trello as a free online program and Toodle-Do as a program with a paid app on the phone. Because I've been using these for some time. There are better task management, goal setting things available today, but those tools I've been using for so long, and they just really help you to get organized and get things done. Now, if you're setting goals and looking at that, we do have encouragement. Like, we encourage you to do something like a dream file, download some imagery on your computer and be able to visualize that and all that sort of thing. We do have that SMART goals worksheet that I talked about, and some other goal setting things. So if you want some help in that area, do feel free to reach out. So that being said too, it's so important for you to look at what help you actually need and to be willing to ask for it. So we when we look at this, what help do you need? We recommend that you do what's called a SWOT analysis, where you look at strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So that's a SWOT analysis. Now, this is typically done, businesses typically do SWOT analyses, but we suggest that you do it on yourself for the year. What are your strengths? Note them down. What are your weaknesses? What opportunities exist for you this year? And what threats can derail those things this year? If you know them, you can put in place action plans, strategies to help deal with those. So, know what help you need. When we're dealing with the weaknesses, you may need some help in dealing with those weaknesses. You may need to develop your skills. You may have the threats where you need to ask for support to help you avoid them there. So do that, okay? Do that. And we're certainly here to help, especially in the area of health and well-being improvement. But also, if you're working with us as a wellness guide, then we have strategies and training and everything in place there to help you hit your goals in that area too. So the next thing that we wanted to talk about is building the person you. Building yourself to be the person that you want to be. This is just such a powerful image. If you're listening to the audio version, then it's just an image of a young girl, holding up her arms and flexing her muscles, and the shadow looks so much stronger. And so it's so important for you to be, to have a vision of yourself moving into the future rather than being as you are now. So one of the things that we encourage people to do as part of the building yourself on a daily basis is what we call our wake and be savvy philosophy. So it's really easy. It's like when you wake up, think of the acronym be savvy, and I'll show you the worksheet there and ask us for that sheet if you like, so we can send that back to you. So this is where, when you first get up in the morning, you spend a bit of time before you get out of bed just basking, just sort of thinking about positive things, feeling gratitude, trying to get out on the right side of the bed, really. Think about the good things. If we went to bed, on stress, with a lot of stress and tension and negative thoughts in our mind, even though we disconnect as we sleep, it's so easy to wake up and pick it all back up again, to take it all back into the next day. Look, I've had the experience even just recently. You wake up and those thoughts are straight away in your mind. So the only way to distract those thoughts, to supplant those thoughts, is to choose to think other things, or your mind will go into automatic. So bask, think about positive things, think about what you're grateful for. Maybe if you have a process, a spiritual process, or an affirmation process, do that first thing. Sometimes it's hard if your mind's just so active. We encourage people to record some positive thoughts and affirmations so that they can just play it when they're groggy first thing in the morning. And then that slips into your subconscious mind when you do that. So, whether it be goals around any of your New Year's resolutions, fat loss, detox, looking your best, slowing aging, or whether it be the financial, making more money and saving more money, just affirm the positive there if you can. So the next is to, of the B savvy, that was B. The next is to E, exercise or energize yourself in some way. Jump up. If you like going to the gym straight away, go and do that. If you want to go for a walk, that's great. Get out into nature and have a walk. Sometimes people like to get up and just do some yoga first thing in the morning to really energize themselves. Whatever it is to energize yourself. So you've basked, you've just helped yourself to get the right mental framework. Then you do something physically to begin that action process. S is for scribe. And so that is to start writing things down. Write down your ideas. Write down your day's planning. Think about the things that you're going to be challenged by today and what you can do to avoid them. Think about your goals. Write them down. If there's something that you just don't think you'll be able to handle today, ask the universe or God or whatever to whatever your beliefs are to deal with it. Put it over there. Say, I would like the universe to handle this for me today. This is what I will do. This is what I want the universe to do. Give the universe some jobs. You might be absolutely surprised when you write that down what gets done. A is for affirm. We're going through B savvy, wake and B savvy, and I'll show you the sheet in just a moment. But A is for affirm. Make sure that you have some positive things to say. V is for visualize. Actually spend time imagining yourself in enjoying the fulfillment of your goal. And this is what Wallace Wattles in The Science of Getting Rich, an old book, which we also have a workshop and a workbook around. So you can ask us when the next program's on there. We're planning to do one very, very soon. So to help, as part of this, making this year your best year yet. So just ask us about that. And because the workbook we provide, it's different to what's available in The Science of Getting Rich. We have questions and footnotes, and it's much different to what else is available out there, much more expansive. So what was I saying there? Yeah, Wallace Wattles his methodology is very big on making sure that you spend a lot of your leisure time in quiet contemplation of your vision. And he says that that's all you really need to do. That setting goals does not need to be more difficult than that. So visualize. The next V is for vibration and vitality. What can you do to check your vibration? Now, this is sometimes a weird word in our world, but if you understand the physics of everything, everything is in vibration. They're in different speeds of vibration. So the fact that you're hearing this is a vibration being interpreted by your ears. The fact that you're seeing this is a vibration of light being interpreted by your eyes and brain. So everything is vibration. So we know that there are positive vibrations and negative vibrations in music. There are things that are hard on the ears and things that are, really joyful to listen to and everything. And they are of a different vibration. And so check your vibration. What vibration are you emanating? What are you attracting based on that vibration? And the Y is for yes. And this is what are you saying yes to? So much we can focus on the no. I don't want this. I don't want that. I don't want this. I wish them. What are you focusing that you want? What are you saying yes to? Are you saying yes to your potential? And the best way of you seeing how this can change, depicted in an easy to understand way, is the movie with Jim Carrey called Yes Man. It's not for everybody, and it can, I'm not necessarily recommending it, and there are some places where it's not necessarily recommended to watch with children, all that sort of thing, or parental guidance may be required, but it is just an exceptional movie to show how you can transform if you start to focus on what you want rather than what you don't want. So the character in the movie was a no man, and his life was not as he wanted it, and he became a yes man, and things evolved for him. We want you to be yes people in this year, and that's part of how you can make this your best year yet. So, maybe do a 30-day challenge, as far as that goes. Really try to do that for 30 days to develop a bit of a habit, somewhat of a daily personal growth program. So let me see whether I can bring that up for you, the Wake and Be Savvy morning ritual. This is what it looks like. And so we're happy to again send that off to you so that you can understand that. But it was very easy as I went through that. So just ask us for this sheet, and we can send that out to you. We may link that across in this in the show notes as well. All right, so the next thing that we want to talk about is having a positive mental attitude. Now, this is in alignment with that yes man philosophy, really looking for the good. How can you focus on the positive? If you can focus on the positive, you can then achieve much more success. You can really make tremendous changes. So, this is where, it's reading positive books, using affirmations, using the Wake and Be Savvy process, changing changing things to more of the power questions. So much, I covered this in previous shows, so much we can have negative questions going on in our life. Why don't things work out for me? Why is everything so much a struggle? Why do my family not support me? Rather than power questions. How can I get more things done? How can I get the support I need? How can this year be my best year yet? And even then, as personal growth author Noah St. John says, maybe you can put in place a process of affirmations. He asserts that you can put affirmations, which are a little like trick questions to your mind, where you, instead of just saying, I'm having a happy and successful year, you can say, why is this year becoming my best year yet? And your brain goes, it is? Why is this year? So it changes. It's sort of like presuming. It's a preemptive affirmation, really, as if it's done. Why is this year proving to be such a blessing to me? Why am I making so much more money? Why is my health improving in leaps and bounds each and every day? That's the process of affirmation. So on this, while we're here on this this particular slide here, I might bring Linda on to discuss this, because she involved when she was involved in a home-based business many years ago. She involved her family in assisting her in that positive mental attitude with these sorts of words. So I might hand over to her. So again, we're going to hand over to her. But what can you do to ask for support from your family, from the people around you, so that this year isn't just the same as last year? So Linda, what have you got to share with us about that process?
Thanks, Corey. It makes me smile when you put it like that, because it takes me back to what you said about me before. I'm into collaboration, and I think collaboration in families is really powerful. And yes, when I was in my 30s, really early 30s, I think, I was timid and shy, and I was scared to talk with people, and I was in a business where I had to go out and talk with people, and I was pretty challenged by that whole thing, and so a range of different strategies I used to enroll my family, to support them, because I'm really energized by my family, and so I created this war cry, really, with my daughters, my children. And when I had to get ready to go out and do a presentation or talk to people, they'd sort of come. It started when they were young, and we would say, "What have I got?" And they would say, "Faith, hope, love, courage, and enthusiasm." And they were really enthusiastic about all this, and so it really helped me get energized. And so that it was interesting that they would come back and say to me, "How are you going, Mom?" And I'd say, "Oh, okay," and they'd say it off to me, and I had forgotten actually all about it. Until my 60th birthday, and you were there, and I was thanking everyone for such a lovely time, and was talking about something I can't even remember, and my daughters were sitting around the floor with their children and in front, and it was something happened, and I said, we had a saying that I used to use to really help me keep going. And the girls all just said it. I mean, it was totally unscripted, and it was quite touching for me. And so it's interesting how the things that we do can last for our children and can make a difference in their lives too, without them even being aware of it. And so I think family collaboration on efforts, on whether it's weight loss, and for me it was about business success, and the strategies that I've implanted in myself have rippled out and really made a big difference, I believe, in their lives as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it's
yeah,
amazing. And it's amazing how those words can be locked into the subconscious. So
yeah,
what if that can happen there? That was unconscious in a way, just because they kept saying it. It just came up. What if we kept consciously focusing on these positive words?
yeah,
And that's what the
yeah,
whole "Wake and Be Savvy" is all about. And the affirmation, it's, it might not be it might be unnecessary to affirm and all that sort of thing, but the whole process of self talk can change if you put the good stuff in there rather than the negative stuff. So yeah.
yeah.
So Linda, it
Thank you.
sounds like, I mean, I know it's a hot day here in this region of the world, but it sounds like the birds in your vicinity want to get in on the action there. So we might have to have you close the window before we come back there. But anyway,
I think Rose, but next when you take me away, I'll check.
all right. So look, I hope you find that, what can you do? You found that valuable, what Linda was sharing. So what can you do with your family, the people around you, and to ask for support, okay, to really build up yourself to be the person that you want to be. All right. And again, share with us in the comments, what is it that you're looking to achieve? What insights do you have as we go along? But we're about to talk about building the person really building up that person. And that only happens through daily personal development by doing those things that we just covered there. So develop the skills to be the best you can be. That would be our encouragement. Really focus on building you this year, and the rest will follow. Believe you can do it. Have the persistence to do it, and really, cultivate that gratitude within you that it's already done, that expectation that it's already happening, and just be happy. Attempt to be happy along the process. Yes, it's things can happen that we don't like. Things can be uncomfortable. We can be blocked by procrastination, by failure, by fears. But just look for the joy. The saying, find the joy, doesn't mean that you have to be in joy. Find it. Look for the positives. Seek out ways to be happy. Seek out ways to distract yourself from the negatives and the adversity that might be happening to you. Because it's a good bet, it's a pretty good bet that if you focus on those negatives, they will become bigger. What you focus on expands. So be happy, look for the joy, find the joy, distract yourself from the negatives as best as possible. And if you just can't get your mind off it, that's where you take a nap. If you're great with meditation and quieting the mind, that's a great methodology. But sometimes you just need to have a sleep or totally distract yourself by going and doing something. Many people say that exercise or getting out into nature or listening to positive things really helps them. I do find that listening helps, whereas reading, oh boy, my thoughts can keep going on like that. But if I listen to something, it can distract me more than the reading sometimes. But and then doing something else, going for a walk and listening, going to the gym and listening at the same time can really be more distracting. So do what you can to, find a new path and dilute those negatives. And so, also loosen up and have some fun. Loosen up a bit, just go easy on yourself. Everything's working out for me. That might be a really good thing to say too. Everything is working out for me. Things go my way. Those sorts of positive things. And to begin with, that may feel uncomfortable. It may feel weird because you go, that's not true, and all that sort of thing. But look, it's just so important. So, as I was saying before about our philosophy of helping you reach a higher level of wellness and the holistic well-being, sometimes, again, we can't break through in our thinking and our life and our finances until we tackle the wellness side of things. If you're just have no energy and you're sick all the time, you just can't get as much done. And so that's really why we have so many wellness programs to help you to feel and change your well-being so that you can get more out of life. And so, what are your resolutions? What can we help you achieve? Remember all those things that we shared before. We can certainly help you with improving your diet and lifestyle. We can certainly help you with losing more weight and detoxing. And we can even help you with changing your financial situation as well. So one thing to think of and research in starting the year off might be the Eat Savvy approach, where it's about educating your food choices towards a, healthier, savvier version. So we have a blog post on that, a masterclass on that, and a free download to help you in that area. One great way to start the year is with a detox, because it's just like we should let go of all the negatives and let go of all the people that are bringing us down when we start a new chapter of our life. We need to let go of the toxins. And if you've not eaten, if the holiday season has maybe been very celebratory, shall we say, then sometimes a detox is in order. And we have a brilliant wellness program that is just perfect to start the year. And although the first intake has started, we can help you catch up if you really want to do a detox. So just reach out to either your wellness guide, if you have one in the Savvy team, or message the page, and you'll probably end up talking with Linda, and she can get you started on the right track. If you would like to lose fat in the fastest possible way, then the Rapid Fat Loss Protocol is for you. That is a cyclical-based program that really helps you get the weight off quickly and get back into safer ranges. And so that it's our most strict program, but it works amazingly. So where people easily shed 10 to 20 kilos in a very fast space of time, and then maybe even repeat the protocol to lose even more. So that's a brilliant wellness program. And those who are more active and are looking to transform their body in terms of their body composition, maybe the Body Transformation Challenge is for you. And that's a brilliant wellness program that, we have free training on all of that. And so you can certainly find out more by reaching out. But look, if there's something that you want to improve about your health and wellness, we can definitely guide you there. Request an invitation, fill out our How Can We Help survey, and let's help you work out a plan, okay? Let's help you make this your best year yet. So when we're continuing here along with the how to make this your best year yet, again, from a mindset point of view, build castles, don't dig graves. Build castles, don't dig graves. So this year, as you're thinking about your life, as you're thinking about New Year's resolutions, as you're thinking about what you can contribute, you're thinking about the changes you want to make, don't dig graves with your words and with your thoughts and with your actions. Build castles, build big dreams. Don't make up stories to support your worries. Make up the stories in your head to support your desires. Build castles, don't dig graves. Really bad. Just remember that saying. What am I saying? Are these words building a castle or digging a grave for myself? Okay? What have you been repeating to yourself mentally? What's your self-talk been like? What have you been repeating to others? Oh, I had more problems again today. Nothing like. The challenge is when we repeat those things, we are in essence digging graves with our words. So build castles, don't dig graves. People often say to us, nothing ever works for me in terms of diet and detox. I've tried everything, which if we logically think about it, is not true. You can't have tried everything, and you can't say that nothing works. Yes, everybody is different. Some things are more difficult based on your genetics, based on your lifestyle, based on your exposures to chemicals, based on all those sorts of things. So it's not entirely true to say nothing works for me. So be open-minded, because if you keep saying the words, nothing works for me, no actions that you take can really have the power to make changes. It is well documented. With every thought, a message is sent to every cell of our body. So when you say nothing works for me, for example, you are sending messages to every cell of your body. When you say I've tried everything and nothing works for me in diet and detox and all that thing, you are instructing the cells of your body to stay the same or get worse. So this is why when we talk about holistic wellness, yeah, we can put you on a wellness program, but we want to help you to change your mindset. There are many people right now that are wellness focused, that have goals for making changes, but maybe they don't see what we're covering today and how to make this your best year yet as relevant for them, because it's all too woo-woo or personal growth, but it is so, so important. You can make changes in your body by changing your thinking today. That is documented, scientifically documented. Just to give you one example that was highlighted in a book by Deepak Chopra called Synchro Destiny, older book. He said that there was a test there. He documented or articulated and shared a particular story of a test that was done where they'd taken cells from a guy's body, put them in a petri dish, connected them up to electrical circuitry with monitors and everything, put him in a totally different room, connected him up to circuitry and everything, and he happened to pick up a magazine. This is how old it was, back when Bo Derek, when the movie 10 was on. This is how long this has been known. Back in the movie 10 with Bo Derek was on, and he opened up the Penthouse or whatever it was, the men's magazine, and he made this statement to when he was opening it up. I don't think she's a perfect 10. At that time, the researchers saw the movements, the electrical movements in him and the cells of his body in a different room operating at the same levels. The cells of his body removed from him were responding in the same way that he was responding. When you think a thought, when you make a statement, it is communicated to every cell of your body. There are more research since then, but that was a very humorous example, I thought. So what have you been communicating to your body? What are you saying to it? Are you saying to your body, you're the greatest. Thank you for being around. Thank you for housing me. Thank you for moving me around. Thank you for being here all of these years. I'm sorry for the things I've done to you, but thank you for still being here. Are you saying those sorts of things, or are you, damning your poor body for what's changed based on the things that you've done? It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because we can all make mistakes, but we have to then take responsibility. So take control of your words and speak highly of yourself as well as others. So, as I said, it's almost the Aussie thing to do, to have a go, to have a go at others, and also to be a bit self-deprecating, to be putting ourselves down, really. So refrain from that and start to be a person that builds yourself and others up. So that just makes me think about, you don't have to do this all the time. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be a paragon of virtue, for example. And one of the things that I've shared with communities that I've spoken in from a personal growth and business point of view is that a lot of the typical personal growth and business coaching sort of things will say things like, go out there and give it 110%. Go out there and give it 1,000%. And that's illogical. That's saying for you to succeed, you have to give more than you actually have. It's illogical. It sounds great and it's all very motivational, but it's illogical. So your positive thinking doesn't have to be 100%. You don't have to be perfect all the time. You just have to have, I like to say, this is what I put forward, your positive thinking just has to have controlling interest. Controlling interest. I like it from the point of view of what I mean by that is if you just think of a publicly traded company and all that sort of thing, and shares and whatnot, or in any business or anything, if someone has 51% ownership, they have controlling interest. Now, of course, it's nicer if you have 60%, 70%, 80%. It's great if you have 100%. But you don't have to be a positive thinker all the time. Your positive thoughts just have to have controlling interest in you. So, but it doesn't sound so motivational for me to say, Go out there and give it 51%. But all you have to do is stack the odds in your favor by building castles more than digging graves. Just have the building castle mental side of you be more than the digging of the graves. Fair point? Okay. So give yourself a 30-day challenge. Maybe you do a 30-day challenge on that. I'm going to be really positive. Ask for a loving mirror, what Noah St. John calls a loving mirror, to say, hey, you're being negative. And we've had this in members that we worked with within our organization here, set up in whether it be a couple or a family or whatever, to say, if I say something negative, please say back to me, is that what you want? So if, that means that you prime your family and friends up to say, look, if I say something negative, I want you to say, is that what you want? So that it's just a question. So whether it be saying, oh, this diet is terrible, I'm having so much trouble. Family member pipes up and says, is that what you want? Oh, I'm finding it so difficult to get out and exercise. I feel so terrible and tired. Is that what you want? So only speak out from now what you want. Now, it's interesting that I heard a personal development speaker at one stage say that when a particular couple was learning this sort of stuff and learned about the power of words, they would often fought a lot and said negative things to each other. And they decided on a 30-day challenge that they would not speak any negative words to each other. They would not criticize, condemn, or complain to the other person. They would only say the right things, or they would zip their lips, just like what you might have been told by your parents. If you don't have anything nice to say, then don't say anything at all. So that was what they took on for a 30-day challenge. And so they were quiet for a period of time, or positive, and if they were just quiet, instead of arguing, they would just zip the lips and not say it. And their children approached them and said, is something wrong? You guys are different. And it was noticed so quickly because they just stopped saying the negative things and condemning and complaining about things. So you can do that too. Build castles, don't dig graves. So know the tools of the trade, whatever it is that you're doing, whether it be the trade of losing fat, body transformation, whether it be the tools of the trade in terms of your profession. Know the tools. Be prepared. Okay? Be prepared. If you're going to do something, turn up prepared. So in terms of weight loss, that means, like just as one example, that means have everything prepped. Have things ready. Some people say that if I put my shoes at my door in the morning, I'll go out for a walk. Set the alarm to get up early. Make things easy for yourself so that you can know the tools that get the job done. And more movement, at least, even if it's not intense exercise, movement is certainly a tool to improve your body composition and help you to lose weight. Diet is a tool, okay? Supplementation is a tool. Lifestyle changes such as drinking more water, that's a tool. Many of the things in our fat loss maximizer toolbox, they're tools. Cold exposure is a tool. Intermittent fasting is a tool. Know the tools that can help get the job done. If that's your trade at work, know the tools of the trade. If that's regarding a program, know the tools of the program. Know the tools and turn up prepared. Now, I think it was a couple of sessions ago I talked about this when on the Healthy Wealthy Wise show, when they were talking about the quote supposedly by what's his name? Now I've forgotten. Anyway, I can't remember. Supposedly, this 80% of success is just showing up. 80% of success is just showing up. Now that may be true, but that's like we know that we can't just show up. We need to do more. So the talk that I did there, I talked about, sure, we need to show up, but we need to show up with the right tools and prepared. It's useless showing up if we can't get the job done. And I said we need to follow through and take action on what we're doing as well, of course. Showing up prepared, and then doing nothing, we're still not going to get success. But yes, it might be true that 80% of success is just showing up. So I was talking about this with my father recently in light of the fact that, here at the time of recording, there have been massive bushfires throughout Australia. And, this is significantly, this particular fire season has been devastating. In total, I believe the area burnt already exceeds the size of England. So, there have been 13 million hectares or thereabouts or something, and it continues to worsen in parts of the country. So my father has been a member of the Rural Fire Brigade, and so we were discussing just this and the sort of things about turning up prepared. It just sort of came up because it was there. I've been spending a bit of time with him, and it was on all of the news and whatnot. And so we got into a discussion because of the fact that I'd done this particular talk. And so obviously, if we look at it from a firefighter point of view, they need to show up or nothing will change. They need to show up. But they don't just show up, they need to show up prepared. That was number two. They need to show up with the truck, with all of the protective gear. They need to show up prepared. So we're talking about success here. You can't fight a fire or do any job if you don't show up and you don't show up prepared. So then they need to take action and follow through, right? It's no use if you show up in the truck and you got everything there, but you don't take action and follow through on that. Okay? So you need to show up, you need to be prepared, and you need to take action and follow through. So as we were discussing this, and in light of the bravery and everything of the firefighters and what's going on right now in Australia, it's like he said that the next thing is that really when you look at that, you need to be aware that things can change. You need to be aware that things can change, and you need to be adaptable and willing to act quickly. And that's certainly true in terms of the Rural Fire Brigade and what he was sharing with me. But that's true in business and anything in life, isn't it? We need to show up prepared. We need to show up. We need to be prepared. We need to take action and follow through. And we need to be aware that things can change and be adaptable and act quickly upon those changes. Okay? And so, number 5 would be we were looking at the firefighters just as an example. We need to be courageous and act in the face of fear and potential adversity. And in any positive endeavor in life, we need to be courageous. We need to act in the face of fear and despite adversity. Would that be true? So, really, if you're thinking about making this year your best year yet, show up. Be prepared, take action and follow through. Be aware that things can change, and so be adaptable and willing to act quickly. And be courageous in the face of fear and adversity. Okay? That would be a brilliant action plan and a brilliant way of knowing, and then know the tools that need to get that, and know the tools that you need to be prepared. Know what needs to be done, study up on that, and be willing to learn and grow along the way. Okay? Powerful message. And again, our thoughts go out to all of those who have been affected by the recent bushfires. Our thoughts and prayers are there. And again, a hat tip to the Rural Fire Brigade and the sort of work that many, many volunteers and are doing for many people around the country. So next one is we need to be professional. We need to be professional. Now, whatever that is, giving the best of yourself, we're going to talk about in just a moment, but your appearance, be professional in your appearance, be professional in your methodologies, your actions, your words. What do you need to learn? What do you need to do to grow? Are you continually learning in your professional development and your personal development? Then regarding appearance, appearance is an interesting one because we're in a much more relaxed environment here in Australia, and in certain professions, we're much more relaxed. But whatever your profession is, be professional. Dress appropriately. Have the right appearance. I think it was Frank Betker in How I Raised Myself from Failure to Success in Selling. He said, I think, paraphrasing here, clothes don't make the man, but they do make about 95% of what you see of him. And so that's obviously same for you, ladies. So it's are you clean and tidy? Are you professional in whatever you're doing? And so that's again part of that show up prepared. but also be willing to continually grow and continually learn and continually move forward. So the next one here is to give the best of yourself. Give the best of yourself. Be a star. Have good habits. Make the commitment. Avoid criticizing others, condemning and complaining. Be in How to Win Friends and Influence. How to Win Friends and Influence People. It says, be lavish in your praise. So how can you speak good of yourself and other people? Put your best foot forward, as they say. Be someone that is a positive influence on the people around them. Okay, don't just be somebody that that nobody wants to be around because they just seem to bring you down as such. So be a star. Have a vision. Have a vision. Like, we have a vision worksheet, and you can ask us for that vision worksheet. And so this is just so powerful. Have a vision. Clarify that vision. See into the future. This is such a great example when we deal with the telephoto lens here, that vision means, are you willing to see into the future? Not just what is there, but what you can create. So true leaders have what we call a triple vision. They see on 3 levels of vision. The perception, they see what is now with the eyes of reality. So you can do the same thing as a leader in your own life. Perception. What's going on now in reality? What vision, what is actually going on now? Can you address it? Can you own up to it? Perception. Here's what's going on now. This is what is reality. But then have a vision of probability, a vision of probability, seeing what will be with the eyes of discernment. So if I continue to act in this same way, this is about what it will be by the end of the year. But then have the vision, the eyes of possibility, seeing what can be with the eyes of possibility and vision. Okay, so perception is seeing what is now with the eyes of reality. Probability is seeing what will be with the eyes of discernment. And probability is seeing what can be with the eyes of vision. So successful leaders in a leadership realm, they live in level 3, lead on level 2, and listen on level 1. So they lead with possibility, they live with possibility, they lead with what's probable, and they listen on the level of 1. So you can do the same as well. Don't let what's going on, don't let circumstances dictate what is going to go on for you this year. James Allen said, circumstances may be uncongenial, but they will not long remain so if you can perceive an ideal and strive to achieve it. So if you can come up with that vision, if you can perceive that vision, if you can focus on it and strive to achieve it, your circumstances will not remain so. So if your circumstances may be uncongenial, you may have started this year with circumstances that are not to your liking, but they will not long remain so if you can perceive an ideal, come up with it in your mind, and strive to achieve it. It's a pretty simple action plan, isn't it? So there you have it. But as I said, we have a vision exercise there. Now, it's a pretty strategic bet that as you go out and think about taking action in your life, that you're going to have to deal with people. So the art of dealing with people, communication, all that sort of thing is going to be necessary. Now, deal with people with enthusiasm, excitement, and understanding. There's 2 sides to every story. So be a person who's willing to listen. Be a person who's willing to be involved in a communication and listen, not just with the idea of what to say next, but truly listen and listen with the ears of understanding. Okay, and so this can't go past the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. It is just a terrific book to really learn, how to take the edge off. If you're an abrupt personality or whatever, this can really help to take the edge off. And, just such a powerful book. Now, there are many people such as So many people who attribute this to their success in business because they learnt to deal with people. And Warren Buffett's one of them. He believed if he hadn't done the Dale Carnegie course about learning to deal with people, then he wouldn't have succeeded in his profession all these years. It was his ability, and he directly attributes this to the actual course of Dale Carnegie, to his ability to get along in business. So, what are you doing to learn how to get along better with people? Okay, what are you learning in terms of that? We're all different. We're all, as my teacher in the wellness arena originally said, we are all delightful deviations from the norm, meaning that there's no normal. We're not all the same, fortunately. We all have different understandings and different goals, and that's a positive thing. So how can we learn to work together as a community, as a collective, and with all of our unique differences, rather than fight and all that sort of thing? And that's through understanding the art of dealing with people. There's many things. There's books such as Instant Rapport, How to Win Friends and Influence People. There's lots of books about getting along with people. There's books on personality typing and understanding that. That's been really helpful, just in really studying personality typing, that we're all different. Many marriages have ended just because they didn't understand that they just speak different languages from a personality point of view. And that all could have been averted. The love languages, the 5 love languages, can help you to understand whether you're nourishing your partner, whether you're nourishing your family. And many things can be averted there. So I look back on my parents, and my mother was an acts of service person. She used to say things like, I don't want anything for my birthday or anything. I just want some help. I just want someone to work with me and get this job done. So she was, probably quality time, acts of service and quality time, if you understand the 5 love languages. So, and yet my father was a words of affirmation. So mum just wanted someone to do something for her. Dad just wanted someone to say, mum just wanted everyone to work with her. Dad just wanted mum to say, well done. You did a good job there. And so because they didn't understand necessarily their love languages, they weren't always nourished, and they could sometimes fight. Maybe you're in the situation there. Same. So, it really helps to know that in the art of dealing with people, so that we're actually helping other people fulfill their needs whilst we still get the fulfillment that we want as well. And by the way, the love languages aren't just love languages. They're the languages of appreciation in business, in communities, and all that sort of thing. And many people never learnt this language, so they don't know how to operate in a community, and they can be very domineering and those sorts of things. So the more you learn, the more you can act like a chameleon and adapt to circumstances, the more you'll be liked, and the better standing you'll have within any community as well. All right, so let's talk about personal assets. So personal assets. So looking at your personal assets, this is again back to the SWOT analysis: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. We have a SWOT analysis sheet that you can reach out to us and obtain. And so it's something that we use for people who are our wellness guides and working with us in that particular business arena. But you can certainly use that. It looks to, again, look at your strengths, your weaknesses. So your strengths are really your personal assets. Your weaknesses, okay, they're your personal liabilities. Your opportunities are also assets. And your threats are personal liabilities. So what we need to do is we need to make sure that your personal liabilities are balanced up with powerful personal assets. And so doing a SWOT analysis can really give you insight into what you need to do to learn and grow, and what you need to do to make this your best year yet. So definitely do that. It is as simple as putting a cross on here. Look, I have a whiteboard. This is really good. I like this. It's as easy as just drawing a cross here and thinking strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. That's it. You can just get that on a page and think about, what are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What are my opportunities? What are my threats? Now, just like a balance sheet, in terms of a profit and loss or a balance sheet and profit and loss as well, a profit and loss statement and balance sheet in business, or the ownership in terms of what I was talking about with a business, we want to have at least 51% in our positive side of things. Let's let your personal assets be at least 51% here. So let's deactivate these weaknesses and threats, and let's optimize these strengths and opportunities and take action on them. And you don't have to go out and give it 110% here, or I'm 1,000% belief. You just have to have controlling interest. You just have to be making a positive profit here. You just have to be in the black as such in terms of your personal assets versus your personal liabilities. So do a SWOT analysis to start the year, and let's see whether you can start to change things to make this your best year yet. So really, again, if you've had any insights on that, love to hear your insights there. Now, you're never too old. You're never too old. Being too old is just an excuse. People say, I'm too old. That's just an excuse. It's just, again, a fear of failure, saying that, if you could just claim you're too old, you can say, oh, well, I'm not like these young people and all that sort of thing. So you're never too old. Many people, their stories are abound about all the people that have been able to, make it even after retirement age. They decided to start a business, and it became legendary. So you're never too old. And sometimes it's this classic, I love this image of a classic car too, because, sometimes the new is great, but, classic has something to it. So maybe you're an old classic and you can still have contribution to something positive. Linda, I might bring Linda on in just a moment. She's been reading, or was reading a book recently, not involved in typical personal development, all that sort of thing, but just understanding communities and how things have changed. In that once upon a time, the elders in a community were well looked up upon, and the elders were intimately involved in the community, supporting, although they weren't actively working, they were intimately involved. And somehow our world has gone where the elders, retire and are no longer actively involved in community things, and or raising the children or anything, which is fine. That's a choice and everything. But that meant we don't have the knowledge and the wisdom of those who are more mature and older, and then the nous and the newness and the energy of the young. So if we can mix that together, then we have power. So you're never too old to still be involved and engaged and contribute to the community. And that's what's so great about what we have in the Savvy Team community here. We have people of all different ages. We sort of like to say everyone from 18 to 80 are involved. And it's just, but not everybody feels confident to contribute. You're never too old and you're never too young to contribute your thoughts, your visions, and your support. So in terms of, there's something I was going to mention. So Linda was reading this book about the elders in a community, and that also made me think about the movie The Intern. So if you haven't seen the movie The Intern, excellent movie, excellent movie. And that was just that, where they had more mature people who really didn't have any direction in life and really wanted to be actively involved in something. And and so they came to a young up and coming company, and they were able to contribute so much. So again, never put yourself down and think I'm too old. Just look at how can I be more involved. So Linda, did you want to comment at all? Are you with us there and like to comment on that particular book and the lessons from that about the elders in society?
Hi, Corey. Yes, that's great. I'm not sure if I'm on screen or what, because my battery went.
You
have
are.
to check my my position, but I'm plugged in and
you're tapped in, turned on, plugged in, and inspired. Well, that's good. We all
Yeah.
should be too.
So that's been great. I've been really enjoying listening to you. Um, okay, now that I've settled down a little bit from that particular
From
talk,
that particular escapade.
um, what was your question again?
Well, the book that you were sharing with the members of the community recently about the elders. In that you read a book that was about the fact that elders are not involved as much in this day and age, and that's
Yeah,
unfortunately they don't bring the wisdom, and so if we were to bring in the wisdom. And the youth and the energy, that's when we really have power, whether it be in a business environment or a family unit as well.
yep,
So it's like
yeah.
well known.
The book,
It's well known. I'll just say it's well known that children nourish and keep an older person young. But even in family units, it's often just a chore for people to look after their children and everything. It's just not expected the way our society has developed. What was the
yes,
person speaking about?
yes. Well, the book was called Wisdom of Elders, and it had some subsequent subtitle, but Wisdom of Elders was its title, and by Stephen Jacobson. And certainly he's a philosopher and a theologian, and he was talking at great length, really, in the book about the fact that there is so much that elders were expected to have wisdom and expected to share it, really. Whereas these days, I think elders aren't expected to share their wisdom. They're meant to be quiet and stick to the background, really. It's not the they're really, in some ways, it's such a change in culture and the society that a lot of the skills, and it's not necessarily skills in technology as I've been negotiating here. It's really skills in dealing with people and all of the things that you've been talking about. Really, there's so many skills that you develop as you get older, and um, and I'm smiling because we're all getting older all the time, and it's certainly we either keep the skills that we have um, that we grew up with. Some people never read another book after they leave school, for instance, and that's a pretty sad state. But I think that's quite high statistic considering. So being able to, I think, share, I think it's a blessing. I feel really blessed to have the opportunity to be able to share wisdoms that I've learned and skills that I've learned. And really, that's what you're doing with the Healthy Wealthy Wise show. You're sharing your wisdom and passing it on and paying it forward, really. And yet, many people don't feel that they have anything to share, and that's just not true.
Mm, mm. Absolutely. So that you mentioned the word "pay it forward." I've been throwing out some what I call educational audio visual presentations, aka movies to watch, such as Yes Man and The Intern. And you mentioned another one there, "Pay It Forward," which is a sad movie but an amazing concept. And it's about the ripple effect that we can all have, all have. So here's a young child. The movie depicts a young child with a social sciences experiment, and he said that if I can just help three people with a needed favor, and they just paid it forward to three other people, he said we could change the world. And that's what we're doing here in the Savvy team. And we just ask you to be part of that paying it forward process. We can make such changes in wellness and understanding if you just pay it forward to other people in need. There are people with health favors. There are some people who need some favors there. And we're there to help with education and, all the turnkey programs that we have. So please do pay this forward. So yes, you're never too old, Linda. What was I going to say about that? Look, I think people of every age have had a flat battery moment. So managing technology is, and having batteries go flat in this day and age, that's pretty normal.
Well,
So,
having batteries go flat was one thing, but not having the cord that I usually use to plug it in, that was something else.
so when you go live, show up prepared.
Yes,
Exactly.
indeed.
And so, but going back to that, you did operate. So adversity struck,
Yep.
and you're able to adapt and do that. We all have to do that each and every day. Just realize that if all of us out there need to realize that that's just the part of success. Sometimes things go wrong, and we've just got to operate as best as we can. So we're just going to jump on now to talk about the importance of leadership. So let me just take you to that particular thing. We might bring Linda back on to talk again about that. So be a leader. Be a leader. So are you willing to step up in any situation? You know, often leadership is believed to be, positional, where you're put in that leadership position. But even John Maxwell, author of a number of books on leadership, he talks about the importance of 360-degree leadership, of just being willing to lead in your own way, even within the community, from within the community. You don't have to be at the top. You can lead from within. And so I'm going to go through the attributes of a leader that's actually talked about in here, and just give you a little bit of a test, really, and then we'll come back to that particular slide. So think about ask yourself, as a leader within your community, within your group, maybe within the Savvy Team community, is your contribution within your work situation, within your communities out there. On a scale of 1 to 10, look at yourself, and this sort of like adds to your SWOT analysis, really, of things that you can choose to change this year. So, am I tolerant? On a scale of 1 to 10, score yourself. Am I motivational? Am I honest? Am I teachable? Am I grateful? Am I inspirational? Am I understanding? Am I a visionary? Am I a goal setter? We're going to continue on, but remember, we're just scoring ourselves on from 1 to 10. Okay, so rate yourself 1 to 10, 1 being low and 10 being high, obviously. So am I well planned? Am I loyal? Am I a good follower? Am I courageous? Am I reliable? Am I wise? Am I approachable? Am I a good listener? Am I a good communicator? Am I good in my attitude? And am I a decision maker? So rate yourself, and if you feel that you're falling down in any of those areas, then that's a personal project for you, isn't it? And so, when you're being a leader, think big, act big, do big things. Give good service, stand up for yourself and your communities and others, and be willing to follow. Yes, be willing to be involved in a community, but step up when needed. And it's interesting that we use this picture here about being a leader, and it actually has a statue of Genghis Khan. And Genghis Khan as a leader was believed to, some people say, well, he was ruthless and aggressive. And many people believe that to be true, and many people believe that leadership requires an aggressive nature, ruthless, it's my way or the highway. But in fact, Genghis Khan had vision. He was courageous in the face of adversity, and he showed others the way. And although I haven't as yet read the book, Linda read a book called Leadership Secrets of Genghis Khan. And so I wonder whether she might comment on that.
Well, it's many years actually since I've read the book, so
I know.
That was a bit unfair. Let me see. I think the thing about Genghis Khan is that he was a big thinker. He saw outside his own reality. He was someone who really did the three things you said about leadership. I think I had notes in my book when sorry. I'm sitting perched here on the edge of my chair. You talked about having vision, and I think that's certainly what he had. He was able to deal with the reality and see probability and think possibility, and certainly he was able to. When you think about it, if anyone's like, for those that are listening, Genghis Khan ruled in an era of no communication at all. Horseback was the communication, the fastest method of communication, and so there was no way of getting any information to anything, and yet he was able in his lifetime to unite a huge number of warring tribes and they were warring tribes, didn't really get what that means. And he was able to gradually, over the period of his lifetime,
Unite
which
those.
really
Hmm.
unite those tribes and bring them together and have them all working cooperatively and create harmony in a previously warring state that had been warring for, I don't know, centuries. So
Hmm.
that's pretty significant in a lifetime, at a time when there was no actual communication at all,
Yeah.
which is probably pretty tricky and hard for people to understand if they're growing up with this technology.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you can really get the enormity of what he was able to do.
Hmm.
And certainly he was ruthless, and he became less ruthless as time went on, but he developed a really great strategy of leadership, of leading a few and teaching them to lead a few and teaching them to lead a few. And that's really partially what we do, isn't it?
Yeah,
With
well, it is, and it's and so he was. There are many positional leaders who don't even operate like that. Everyone reports to me, and that's not the way Genghis Khan operated. He actually empowered others to lead and go forth and lead, from my understanding, and that was the only way for the communication to spread and for the warring tribes to be united as such. So that's what we can all do. That's again the same as the pay it forward. We can all do our little bit. It's the same as 360-degree leadership. Yes, we
yeah,
need to be united in a vision, working collectively. Together, everyone achieves momentum. Together, everyone achieves miracles as such. So there's so much more that we can do as a collective
yeah,
that we can do alone. And yet the leadership abilities and his ability to, from what you've shared with me, his ability to empower others
yes.
is what united the whole continent. So powerful stuff when we really
Well,
think about it. Mm. All right. So Linda also mentioned there the fact that Genghis Khan thought big, and so it's the same thing for us. Thinking big. Are you willing to think big? I love this imagery here because the little dog wants to play just as much as the big dog and is willing to jump up and make that happen. So more energy is required by the little dog to participate. So the little dog's thinking big here. So are you willing to just put in a little bit more to get the job done, to participate with the big dogs? So, act big, think big, do big things, okay? So right now, if we were having this year, how to make this your best year yet. If we're having this session 1 year from today and you're looking back over your year, what has had to have happened in your life, both personally and professionally, for you to feel happy with your progress, for you to feel satisfied with your progress? So if we're here 1 year talking about how to make 2021 your best year yet, what has to have happened for you to be satisfied with your progress? Can you really feel for that? Can you really reach for that? Can you really think big and live in that? That's the process that Wallace Wattles talks about. And then stop thinking about all of the obstacles. If an obstacle occurs, think, what can I do about this? What's the next logical step? What's the next action? And then always be focused when you're thinking big on, great, love that, feeling it, and then going, what's the next logical step? What do I need to do to get things done there? What's my next logical step? Such an important thing to write down. What's my next logical step? Okay? And whatever comes to you, use the Mel Robbins, author of the 5-second rule, says when a thought comes to you, when an inspiration comes, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, act. Because if you don't, all of the excuses and the negative beliefs will come rushing forth from your programmed mind and stop you. So think big, act big. All right, next thing would be to really give good service. Give good service. Be willing to serve other people. And so it's an interesting thing when we think about giving good service that we often don't receive good service, like when we're out and about in a restaurant or whatever, and then we go and we end up doing the same thing to other people. So really think you can change by the service that you give. You can change by thinking of things differently. Okay, so service, excitement. Can you raise your energy? Can you change your voice? Can you, be helpful with ideas for other people? Can you be helpful in your communication? Can you what can you do to serve other people? What can you do to really be a contribution? So important to just sort of think about how are you serving others? Are you willing to get out of your comfort zone to help other people? Remember, yes, fit your own oxygen mask first, but then be willing to be involved in service. That's again that pay it forward that we were talking about. Next would be to clean up. Okay, we talked about this before when we talked about talked about David Allen in How to Get Things Done. It's about creating order. But it's interesting that my mentor, my original mentor in the health and well-being field, saw, he was involved in really helping people with so many life-altering and even debilitating conditions. My work with him, our work with him, had both of us witness things that were considered to be impossible. And one of the processes was actually to create order in your life through this process I talked about by the list. And one of the parts of that was uncompleted acts. That we all have a list of things that we haven't done. That might be wash the car. It might be clean out the garage. It might be talk to so-and-so. It might be any manner, clean out the wardrobe. It might be any manner of things. And what these things do is that they suck us dry as far as our energy goes. Many people, even from a feng shui point of view, from that sort of energetic pattern around the home, say that many of these things can drain us of energy when there's clutter. So if there's stagnation and clutter in the home, there's going to be stagnation and clutter manifested in the body and in your life. So clean up. What can you do this year? Think about it right now. What do you need to clean up? The very action of moving forward on that can trigger growth in your life. So what can you clean up? What can you clean up? Think about it. Do you go, oh my God, I've got to sort out that box. Oh my God, that filing cabinet's got to be done. Oh, the linen cabinet is a disaster. How would you feel when it's completed? You feel a sense of freedom. You feel a sense of accomplishment. And the process that we go through in our list workshops is that triggers a movement from success to success to success. So you don't tackle the big jobs, you tackle the things that you can get done quickly. Okay, so what would be right now, today, what would be something very simple that you could clean up that would have you have a sense of freedom and accomplishment? Go do it. Take that feeling on. Move towards greater accomplishments there in cleaning up. Powerful things can change there. So that also makes, and I did talk about this in a previous Healthy, Wealthy, Wise show where we covered some information by the author Asher Tyson. So go back and have a look at some of those two. I don't recall the exact episode number at the moment, but this is also the principle, the psychological and spiritual principle of creating a vacuum. Get rid of what you don't want to make way for what you do want. Okay, so get rid of the old stuff that you don't want to make way for what you do want. Some people take that to the nth degree and they go, I don't like that lounge anymore. Get rid of it. We won't sit on the floor for long. So, you can do that, but, the principle of vacuum means that you really want to get rid of the old to make way for the new. So that might be the same thing with the toxic beliefs, the toxic thoughts that you've been holding on to, the toxic foods, the toxic habits, the toxic people. What do you need to get rid of? The toxic, the time wasting things that you do that you need to get rid of to make way for the life changes you want to make in this year, to make this year your best year yet. Clean them out. So maybe you have mental clutter. Maybe you have, clutter around the home. What can you do to clean up? All right, next one we're going to be talking about is to be yourself. Be yourself. Be the best you can be. It's like so many times people are looking to, to emulate other people, and then they don't, they're not themselves. You don't need to be someone else. You need to be you to the best of your ability. The desires that you have in your heart, really, they're there based on everything that you are. You are unique. So you would not have those desires if you didn't also have the wherewithal to be able to make them a reality. So be the best you can be. Be you to the best of your ability, and give up that whole self-deprecating nature that you're not good enough. Okay? So now is the perfect time. You can really make tremendous changes. So if you want more out of life, if you're really wanting more out of life in this year, and you're really wanting to make this year your best year yet, again, I want to remind you about that holistic focus. There are all these things, and many people in their holistic wellness wheel, when you go through and you look and you go, okay, how am I going in terms of my environment? Are there things that are toxic? Are there things that I don't like? Are there, what can I do? Am I doing well in that area? And so you can actually go around this wheel and sort of, draw lines going, if you're doing exceptional, then you might draw the point to the outside edge of the circle. If you're doing poorly, you might put a point towards the inside edge of the circle. So, you might go, I'm doing exceptionally, so I put a point out here. I'm doing poorly in social, so I put a point in here. I'm doing poorly in organizationally. I'm doing poorly here. So then you can draw the lines, and then you can see that your wheel is a little bit disjointed. And that way you can see, again, like the SWOT analysis, the areas of your life that you need to work on. But, if you want more out of life, it's a good strategic bet. What we've seen is that to truly get more out of life, you need all those things, but we could almost boil it down to, you need good health, mental health, physical health. You need time, okay? You need to be able to have allotted time, taken time, scheduled time, decluttered, in order to be able to have made the time to make the changes. And you often need the money. We're in a world where money is important to get things done. If your goals are purely community minded and all those sorts of things, and are not about lifestyle change, then maybe money isn't needed. But to change your life, you're probably going to need health, time, and money. What are your resolutions? What are they? Jot them down. Get clear on them, okay? Get clear on what they are. It's so important so that you can move forward. And so, with what I shared before, that, so many people say they'd like to save money or make more money as a New Year's resolution, or get a new job or whatever. And, much of the time that's because they're struggling with stress. And the last year was a stress. And so here in the Savvy team, we really truly can help with some of the top causes of stress. So here are the top sources of stress from a survey, a well-being survey back in 2015, and I would assert that they're not that much different, okay? So personal financial issues, the average was 49% of people were under stress, physical, emotional stress, because of personal financial issues. So the next was health issues, 44%. Family issues, 45% on average as such. Maintaining a healthy lifestyle, 40%. Health of those around you, close to you, family and everything, 38% on average. Workplace issues, 32%. So these are all the top causes of stress according to the survey. And that's why here in the Savvy team, we're so passionate about wellness programs, about helping you create a side hustle as well as a wellness guide in the lucrative wellness arena, because health issues and personal financial issues are the top two stresses in the world today, according to surveys, well, at least here in Australia. So we can certainly help, okay? So, as far as the money side of things, we want to just share with you about how you can reach that higher level of health and lifestyle by capitalizing on some of the trends. So in the global economy right now, the wellness industry, the wellness economy exceeds $4.2 trillion now. Back in 2017, it was a $4 trillion economy. And so some of the things that we help people with in this market. We're involved in this market. We're involved in the nutritional and weight loss market. We're involved in the personal care, beauty, and anti-aging market. We're involved in traditional complementary medicines. We're involved in preventative medicine and public health. We're involved in fitness, mind, and body. So we're involved in so many of the industries in this $4 trillion market. It's the wellness industry is 4 times larger than the worldwide pharmaceutical industry. And this is why some people assert that doctors are afraid. I don't believe that there is need to worry about the typical medical profession. It will continue. There will always be people who will follow the reactive way rather than the proactive way. So if you'd like to truly be proactive in changing your wellness and also proactive in paying it forward and helping members of the community by becoming a wellness guide with us here in the Savvy team, this is what this is all about. You can become a wellness guide with us and help others enjoy improved health and well-being and really capitalize on the trends that people are looking for solutions. So when we think about this, the average Australian is betting their entire future on a single income, a single job, or a single business income. Now, it's true amongst the entire world, okay? So I mentioned from Australians there, but whether it's in New Zealand, whether it's in Europe, whether it be in the North American region, all around the world, Asia, pretty much we're dealing with most people bet their futures on a single income, a single job, or a single business income. Okay, and usually it's a job or traditional business, an active income where you're trading time for money. Most households need at least 2 incomes, though. Some households are fortunate enough to have an investment income where their money is making money, not just their time making money. But according to Australian statistics, the average property investor, for example, loses $10,000 per annum. That's average. And so that means that people aren't making an income from property investment. They're actually making a loss. So it's a monthly financial drain on the household. But what they're investing for is potential capital gains. But that's not an income. That's a hope for the future. So there may be tax advantages in negative gearing in this region of the world, but obviously in many other regions, they don't necessarily have those same tax laws. So most people are not really, I put a question mark here because most people are not receiving an income. The average household is not receiving a investment income. So if you wanted to become a savvy household, as we like to put it, we simply suggest that to all of the current methods that you're earning an income, all of the methods, you simply add a wellness business cash flow, a leverage type of income. Okay, and we help you do that. So it might only be small. It may appear initially not to make any difference, but it's just being added through a little bit of extra effort that you're putting in. It's adding to that, but it's leverage. It's not an active income, so it can grow over time. And so our encouragement to change your financial situation is to reduce household debt by saving and making more money and to increase over time the leveraged household income. And so, that changes things considerably, puts your family in a totally different financial situation. So it looks like this. You start to grow that wellness business cash flow into something that's nice and healthy over time. Pretty much everyone's job or traditional business income only increases with inflation unless you're constantly changing jobs. So there's no way of improving, your income without in most cases, most jobs, you're paid what the job is worth, or you're paid for how many clients you see in a day if you're self-employed. So there's no leverage. You have no time leverage. So we help you create leverage through a wellness business cash flow that over time could allow you to give up other active sources of income. And the extra income certainly gives you choices. And that's why I shared with you the quote from Robert Kiyosaki that it's more important to grow your income than to cut your expenses, because it's more important to grow your spirit, your dreams, your visions. It's more important to grow your spirit than to cut back on your dreams. But pretty much for this year, if you change nothing, nothing changes. So look, if this interests you, become a wellness guide, whether it's just something small, a little bit of a side hustle for you, or a retirement income, or to work around, raising the kids, or whatever, or just a little bit of an income injection if you're already a high income earner. Become a wellness guide and refer people to our programs. You get to promote effective programs, action plans that are based on unique consumable products. You get programs and action plans that cross many market sectors, everything from weight loss to gut health. You get to choose the hours you work, and you start part-time. You can choose your level of income. It's really up to you. There are no or low overheads. We have all of the infrastructure set up. It's a multi-demographic appeal, so it doesn't matter what your age is. We have international market expansion potential, so you can actually have people that you're helping in any part of the world that you might know people in most cases. So social sharing infrastructure is already in place and in continual development, so it's already there for you. You can learn and earn at the same time. You have no expensive monthly fees like many of the programs out there, and it's all part of the system. We don't charge you to be part of our system, and you're actually part of a supportive community. So look, if you are in any way wanting to change your financial future this year to make it your best year yet, then become a wellness guide. You can really work with us to create a residual leveraged income by helping others. So it's a matter of saying, well, what do you want? That may not be for you. You may be totally satisfied with the income that you're earning. That's great. Let's work to improve your health. Maybe it's just changing your mindset by tapping in with the Healthy, Wealthy, Wise show. All good with that. But if you would like to change your financial future, let us know what you want. Are you looking for just a supplementary side hustle income? Are you looking to replace an income maybe so that one person in the household doesn't have to work, maybe to raise the kids or whatever? Or are you looking for a true lifestyle income, a side hustle and lifestyle freedom? That laptop lifestyle that you hear about. That can be done as well. So where to from here? If you would like to discuss this with a Savvy Team mentor, then request an invitation. You can have a free interview with a Savvy Team marketing mentor about this and what you can do, and your situation, what you can be looking to achieve. Then we schedule up a strategy session. You tap into our system that's already in place that is at no cost, and then you basically scale the income to the level of your dreams. So really, just hitting on this. If you were tagged here, or if you're a regular attendee at the show, or whatever, this could be a new dawn for you. Okay, it really could be a new dawn for you, and it could assist you in making this your best year yet. So continuing on with our tips, you'll want to plan, you'll want to prepare, you'll want to expect that you can make it. And so this is again back to this business plan SWOT analysis. If you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. So prepare, get things organized. Have all of the things ready for you to make this your best year yet. Jot down some ideas about where you need to grow. Expect that you can make it. Expect it to be done. Have that belief. We often have doubts. Like, let's just think, you've probably ordered online. If you're joining us here on a live session, you've probably had the experience of ordering online and then having something come. So when you order online and it tells you it'll be there in whatever days and everything, you don't just keep going out and going, is it here? Is it here? And you don't go, oh my God, it's probably never going to arrive. It's so terrible. What if it doesn't arrive? You may be doing that, but most of the time you order it and you have faith, expectancy, and belief that it is on its way. How can you cultivate that same belief in your visions? How can you plan, prepare, expect that your goals for this year will come to fruition? How do you have that same belief? So Wallace Wattles in The Science of Getting Rich says, with thought, what you want is brought to you. With action, it is received by you. So if you think about that, it's just as simple as that. When you order something online, you order it and it's on its way. But if you don't open the door and sign for it, it's not received by you. So the action is required to receive it, but it's just on its way. So your goals, dreams, and desires, if you've put them out there, if you've articulated them, you've verbalized them, everything, they are on their way through the usual work of the universe and the thinking stuff, as Wallace Waddle says in The Science of Getting Rich. And so with thought, you have impressed upon the universal substance and things are coming towards you. But it is with your action, your belief, your expectancy that you open the door and sign for it. So, just dismiss the negative thoughts, dismiss the thoughts that it won't happen, whether it be with your health goals or whether it be with your financial goals. Really, really important. Plan, prepare, and expect it to happen. It's really important then to plan your time too. So it's an interesting thing with time that time, we all have the same amount of time. We can't say that, I don't have time and everything. You've probably said that, I don't have time. Well, the bad news is that you have all the time that you're going to get. The good news is that you don't need any more. You can do whatever you want with the time that you have. And so think about time as a very precious commodity. Think about time as something that you want to use wisely, and don't waste the time on things, negative thinking or the negative things. Really take responsibility for your time, and sometimes we can spend time in what the 4 disciplines of execution calls. This is the Franklin Covey organization. We can get stuck in our business and life whirlwind. The things that we just do all the time, we don't set aside time to make sure our goals get moved forward. We just get caught up in the whirlwind. So plan your time. And they assert that sometimes all we need to do to get the job done is to block out times in the calendar where we'll do what they call lead measures. The things that will lead to the accomplishment of your goal. And this is back to the project planning that I was talking about before. You can't do weight loss. That's a goal. That's a project. You have to say, okay, my weight going down is what they would call in the 40X principles a lag measure. It takes time to happen. It will happen later. There is a time lag in that. So the lead measure is something that will lead to that. So what will lead to you losing weight? Changing your diet. Maybe improving your supplementation so they don't have cravings. So that's what we do anyway. Changing your exercise regime, changing your lifestyle, tapping in with support, being around a supportive community. They're all lead measures. They're all things that will lead to the accomplishment of your goal. Sometimes we can break that down even more. And that's why we have lifestyle changes. We say, get 10,000 steps each day. Drink 3 liters of water. They're lead measures because we can track those things so we can know each and every day whether we're on target. Eat savvy. Only eat these foods. We suggest that you take pictures, create a food diary and everything. And any day that you eat things that are not on the savvy list, then you have failed in that lead measure. Okay, so you're doing something that won't lead to success. We can't do the goal of losing 20 kilos. We can only do the actions that will lead to the accomplishment of that. And so that's covered in this from a business point of view in the 40X book, but very powerful because we must set aside time to do that. So you won't have any extra time to exercise. You won't have any extra time to come to the show here or to jump on online training or to be part of support groups. You have to create the time. You have to schedule the time. So important to take responsibility for the precious commodity that we have of time. All right. It's so important as well to focus on teamwork and success. So success is a choice. Okay, success is a choice. And so each and every day with our actions, this is leading into what I was talking about there or leading on from what I was talking about with the lead measures. By your daily actions, you choose success. By your daily actions, you choose moving towards failure. And that's what we really share with our illness wellness continuum each and every day with your actions, you're either moving towards a higher level of wellness or you're moving towards disability and premature death. We want you to stay young and be savvy. So, no one needs to be alone. We have the support there for you. So just tap in with it. So success is a choice, and so many successful people have attributed their success to the support that they received from community members around them. So keep an ideas file is another really important thing, whether it be in business or in your life. Keep an ideas file. Probably your file won't look old school like this anymore, but it may be something such as an online service like Trello, which is a free project management site that has an associated app, which is really handy to use. Or it might be like I use Toodle-Do as well for ideas. I use Trello more for project planning and collaborating with people here in the Savvy team. And yet with Toodle-Do, I use that for my ideas file. And you probably never saw this movie, and it's a hard one to find, but it's called The Associate with Whoopi Goldberg and can't remember her name, Diane Weiss. Whoopi Goldberg, great old movie, and it was about about this lady who basically lost her job in the finance arena in the 80s in New York. And so you know what the finance arena was, a male-dominated profession there. And so she said she was going to go out on her own. And she realized it was very difficult she had a whole box of ideas that the firm wouldn't let her work on, an ideas file that was Laurel's box. We often refer to it here as Laurel's box. It was just ideas, random ideas. And she had them all in an old school file. And so when she went out on her own, interesting story and everything, how that was created. I won't ruin the story. But when she went out on her own, she took that box and she started to shuffle through the papers. And she ended up with this secretary, and this secretary sorted out the file so that all of her ideas were searchable and documented and highlighted. And that's an example about why I use not just a book. I have a daily book that I jot ideas down into, but I also put them into my Toodle-Do file. So use a trusted system to create and hold your ideas. If that just starts with today, you creating an ideas list today, creating an actions list, creating a goals list, creating, these sorts of things, a beliefs list even, where you jot down the things that are your negative beliefs. And if you jot down that beliefs, I want you to write down the word beliefs and then put a box around the 3 letters in the middle, which state lie. If we take on the thought that all beliefs are simply lies, from this day forward, we can choose more empowering beliefs. Because if they're all lies, if I'm going to believe in a lie, why not believe in an empowering one? An empowering belief might be, this will be my best year yet. However old you are, life begins at insert your age, okay? You're never too old. Life begins at insert whatever your age is. Keep that ideas file. Believe that it's possible. Find ways of tracking the idea, whether it's just jotting them down on these sheets. So I was suggesting a to-do list, an ideas list on a piece of paper or a book, a beliefs list, okay, an actions list, those sorts of things. If you're already techno savvy or have Trello or some other planning software, you'll know what to do. But otherwise, it's as simple as getting out a book and jotting them down. And you can change your year right now with the actions that you take today. All right, we need to raise the vibration. Now, some of you may raise your energy level. Networking and hanging around with positive people is a way of plugging in. So we have, like raise your energy level, plug in. We had Linda before have a problem. Her battery in her phone that she was broadcasting with went flat and she had to plug in. Well, we can go flat too. And so sometimes it's plugging into the support. When we're flat is not the time to run away from the supportive community that might be around you. It's the time to tap in, because it's sure sometimes you need your own time just to gather your thoughts and everything, but you'll bury yourself if you just go into the old program rather than reaching out and being part of supportive people around you. Plug into the support. Give yourself, if you failed, give yourself that second chance by tapping in with people who have done it before. If you failed at a diet, and all of your friends have, then hanging out with all those people and bemoaning your issues isn't going to help you break through. Tap in with a supportive community such as what we do here in the Savvy team, and let's help you break through. Okay? You may not have the same weight loss speed as others, but your journey is your journey. Okay? We want to help you along your journey. Raise your energy level. Now, that also means that you might need to inject a bit of enthusiasm into what you do. Now, sometimes I feel like a little bit of an, clown with the energy that I put into the shows here, and sharing with you things where I could just be sharing this information. Basically, I could just be sharing the information, sharing the words, and basically talking about the way these things. And it's so important to raise your energy and your vibrational level, because if you have a high vibration, then you're more likely to get things done. And so my encouragement would be to raise your energy level. So how can you amp up the words that you use, to put more power in the words that you use? How can you put more energy? You might say, that's not me, and that's okay. Be you to the best of your ability. You 2.0 or 3.0, increase your energy. Put whatever you can into what you do, okay? Raise your energy level is this point. So really, when we think about this, this is your time. It's your time, and it is your year, okay? It's your time. It is your time. It's time to make this year your best year yet, okay? Make it your year. That's what we really want to talk to you about here. And I'm going to just do a little bit of a recap on some of the things that I've talked about in terms of making this your best year yet. How do we make it your year? It's definitely time. So let me just go through some of the things, some of the notes that I have in this book and what I've covered. So recapping here about some of the things that we've already covered. I would suggest, first of all, I guess, that you recap the session. I know it's a long session, but there's a lot of information here. And when you are repetitive in your learning, you pick up totally different things. So review the session. Okay? So make a list. Make a be. I gave you some examples of the lists that you could create. Have a be, do, and have list. Create a list of the things that you would like to become, things you'd like you to do, things you'd like to have of these goals. Really good idea just to think about be, do, and have as well. So set your goals and create action plans that you need to, that will help you achieve them. Jot down the ideas. Maybe use a mind map. Set the goal, put a circle in the middle, and then use that mind map example and just start jotting down ideas that come to you. Okay? Find out what help you need in helping you get that goal done. What help will you need? Look at your SWOT analysis and think about that. Start to build you with a good positive mental attitude that we discussed. How do you develop that positive mental attitude? Read good books. Focus on Wake and Be Savvy. Inject the good things. Garbage in, garbage out is the old programming, saying. So that's the same thing with you. You program your subconscious with good things by putting the good things in. Never stop believing in yourself and the possibility that you can get it done, that you can achieve. Be happy, smile more, no matter how you tend to feel on the inside. It's well known that when you change your physiology, you will change your emotions. So when you put your shoulders forward and you're all slumped and unhappy, you will feel different to if you open up your chest, smile, it will change the way you feel. So smile more, change your posture, be happy. Get rid of procrastination. Do it now. Put in place what Mel Robbins calls the 5-second rule. What a great idea. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go do it. I should talk to that person. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go do it. That sort of thing. So get it done. Make sure you don't fail by failing to plan. Make sure you do your plans and you think about your daily action plans, your weekly action plans, having time for review of your goals. That is in the David Allen's philosophy, the GTD philosophy. That's one of the most missed action steps, a weekly review, to constantly look at the state of your goals and where you're at in life. Go through your fears if you have any, and meet them head on. Really, there's nothing. Your fears can stop you. But I love this saying from, I believe it's Florence Scovel-Shinn, where she says, "Nothing stands between man and every desire of his heart, except for doubt and fear. When man can wish without worrying, every desire will be instantly fulfilled." What a powerful statement. Now, didn't say a man and not a woman. That's just the language of saying man. So, sometimes I can't grab it, but nothing stands between man and or women. Nothing stands between you and every desire of your heart except for doubt and fear. When you can wish without worrying, hold the vision of what you want, and keep in the positive vibration, every desire of your heart will be fulfilled. Powerful, hey? All right, so set a good example for others and go through and work on your weaknesses. Really look at the SWOT analysis and work on your weaknesses. Make life fun. Get rid of doom and gloom. Be happy. Build castles in your dreams. Don't dig graves. Be professional in everything that you do. Be courteous and professional. Don't criticize and condemn other people or seek to bully or defame anyone. Just really be hearty in your praise and positive in the way you speak with people and about them. Give commitment. Be committed in everything that you do. Develop good habits and strive to build upon your vision. What else have we got down here? Learn the art of dealing with people. Maybe you study love languages. Maybe study personality typing systems. Maybe read, how to win friends and influence people. Be excited and enthusiastic about what's going on for you and your future. Do a personal stock take. Do the SWOT analysis. Look at your personal assets and liabilities and work on them. Stay motivated and remember that you're never too old. Remember, you may be a classic. You may even be a vintage, but any vintage vehicle can also be restored, and you can be restored too. But the restoration happens by changing your mind and changing the things that you do to your body. In essence, with our anti-aging programs, we're about restoration of old classics. I'm not meaning to be offensive there, but if you're an old classic and you're wanting to restore yourself, then it's tapping in with these sorts of programs. It's doing things such as our programs that help you to slow aging and look and feel your best. That's how you restore you. But you're never too old. Think big. Be a good leader. Keep an ideas file. Watch your ego and don't get wrapped up in your ego. Keep your energy levels high. Be yourself. Don't try to be a clone of someone else. Work out your finances. And we looked at the cause of most stresses. Number one was personal financial issues, and then it was health. So if it's not health for you, even though we work in the health and wellness arena, if it's the financial side of things, then we can help as well. So definitely reach out to us and let's see what we can do to create a bit of a side hustle income for you to take the pressure off. Plan your life and your business endeavors and your career. Ask yourself what success will cost you and whether you're willing to pay the price. Sit down and work out how to get it done, how to be the best you, come up with ideas of self-improvement. Remember that success is a choice, and remember to step out of your comfort zone, network with others, tap in with support, and continually increase your sphere of contacts, your circle of influence. So, wow. I hope you found that valuable. Again, we would love to hear your insights. Please do share in the comments your insights and let us know, are you looking for vitality improvement, health and vitality improvement? Are you looking for more time and money and lifestyle? What is it for you? What is it for you? Because we can definitely help. And look, for your best journey, you'll want a plan. You'll want some solutions. You'll want guidance and you'll want community. And that is what we are here. That's why we're here. We're here to help you make this your best year yet. So we would absolutely love you to share your inspirations, whether you had any insights there. If you want to follow up on information, then definitely in an episode, we did a special episode called Newton's Laws of New Year's Resolutions, the physics of setting and sticking to your goals and New Year's resolutions. That would be a great follow-up to this particular session. So we've covered a lot of information. I'll just come on and bring Linda on at the moment and see whether she has anything that she would like to share to wrap things up, any comments that she would have to you. So thanks, Linda.
Yes, thanks, Corey. Certainly, you've covered a lot of information in a relatively short space of time, considering what you've covered. So to add to that would be superfluous, I think. I guess really I just want to say that success is a choice, whatever you're looking to achieve to make this year your best year yet. And we choose to be successful or not. It's actually a choice. Everything we do is a choice. And so sometimes life gives us lemons and we just have to make lemonade. And I think and behind every obstacle, there is an opportunity for growth and for learning and for really ourselves. And really life is about growing and becoming a better us. And so that really, to me, if you want to make this your best year yet, then you decide what it is that you want and whether you are prepared to step up and claim that success and to believe that it's possible. And really just go for it.
Yep,
that's pretty much it.
Sky's the limit, hey. So look, the Savvy team can help you if you have any questions about material we've covered or taking action on your New Year's resolutions or any of the hints we've shared. That's what we're here for. Reach out to your Savvy team contact and they'll be glad to assist you. So, how can we help you? What can we do to help you? Request an invitation and fill out our how can we help form and let's work out a plan. Let's together make this your best year yet. Look, I have a great quote here to leave you with from Barack Obama. He said that change will not come, obviously as part of his whole campaign originally there, but change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. We are the ones we're waiting for. We are the change we seek. So look, let's make this your best year yet. If you've been struggling to make changes in the past, then that's what community support is about. So tap in with even if it's just tapping in with the show regularly and getting ideas and hints and tips. But if you really want support, then request an invitation into our community and also reach out and just book a free discovery session and we can help you map out a plan and let's make this your best year yet. All right, so look, thanks for being here on the show. It's great to have you as always. Look forward to your thoughts, your insights. Again, whether you're new to the Healthy, Wealthy, Wise show or you're visiting for the first time, it's great to have you here. So that's it from us for the time being. So that's it from me for this particular show. It's Corey Sievers here, encouraging you to be savvy. Let's make this your best year yet. So all the best. We'll catch you next time here on the show.